you see their trainer and you see some players of Zurich helping the girls. So there's not really a rival club here in Switzerland. So we have another cluster playing from Makos. Makos is in ball possession, getting in the close corner of Helvetian basket, trying to get there. There was nicely positioned around the basket when the Mako players, but a little bit far away. The ball drops. Mako still in ball possession, trying to get in here as well, but there we have a strong defender here from Helvetian team. But Mako are really doing a good job here, trying to attack in waves, helping each other, and we see Switzerland now in ball possession, stealing away the ball from the attackers, from Makos, and now swimming towards the middle line.
Yes, and again we see the same situation. The Marcos are earlier at their basket, but nevertheless they swim undisturbed to the whole of the pool.
One.
And that was another close one because the defense was in place, but the attacks from the Swiss are very decisive, and they are not stopped by forechecking in the middle of the pool. This does not give the defense time to establish themselves in their part. Here we go, same for the Marcos now. They break into the perimeter of the defense of the Swiss. Oh, that could have been a chance. There was
the defender was missing.
Yep, there was a huge gap between the change of the goalies, but the Swiss players rescued the ball out of this attack and are trying now to break into the half of the Marcos, but we have a cluster on the surface and it looks like, ball is falling down, saved almost by 2-3 Swiss players are saving it, but now we have Poczek in the middle of the pool.
No, yeah. But now we get to the Mako basket again. They establish a good defense. The players are there. Harriet is coming from the close corner. That means in underwater rugby the ball side for everybody who's watching. And that was a nice chance, but the Mako goalie made it there in time, and now checking forward. It's hold.
I guess there was a holding.
Without the ball,
yeah. Against
holding
Swiss.
Without the ball. It's a free throw for Makos here. Still horning, whooping from the referees. Let's see what they talk. Hello. There.
Timeout for Helvetia.
Yes.
So what's your estimation for this game? It looks like, at least to me, the Marcos are less experienced in this game.
Yes. I think even they have a quite young team. Makers, what I heard, they have like 2 or 3 players. They are 14 years old, and I think they're also playing in Connecticut, so there's no much challenge there. And then you have Helvetia, and they're trying to search every opportunity to play. They have the Leckerli Cup where they can challenge and try themselves out. And they're even training in Basel and Freiburg, where I play as well. So they really training 2 to 3 times a week, really getting there. So I think right now we have a good game for both of them. So Makos can try their defense, try to learn, because we saw them create attacks from Mako as well. Now we're back in the game. There's almost a stolen basket from one of the Mako players here at the Helvetian basket. But right now we're more in the middle of the pool, struggling for possession. Ball possession is Mako. She's going into the corner at the close side of the Helvetian basket, drops, but recovered. And that's a referee call. We don't know. Holding without the ball, and this resolves in a free throw for Mako. That's what we've seen quite. No, it's a
penalty. No, I guess that's wrong from the side. It's a free throw. It's not a penalty. Yeah, we have the wrong
time now. So they're playing for. That's a close one. So we're playing actually for. Now it's stopped. Now we don't have time running. Now we have time running. Yes, okay.
So Marcos are in ball possession around the Helvetian basket and trying to establish their presence around under the basket, but they don't succeed. Tackled up to the surface again. Marcos play waiting under the cluster. but it seems like they don't succeed in breaking free, and the cluster is pushed in the direction of the Marco basket out of the danger zone above the Swiss one. But Marcos are in ball possession, coming down now with two players going in too high above, not under the defender, into the defender, and so the Swiss defense succeeds in pulling them up to the surface again and again. The Marcos should go down deeper, again a little bit too high. Not easy to score when you don't come from above, but in the level of the goalkeeper to score from this leverage.
Yes. And we have here 1.5 minutes to go in the first half of game 44, last game of day 2 of Champions Cup 2019 here in Berlin. We have so far 34 people watching our game. We have equalized teams here, but Helvetia took some more chances to push through, and they even had a penalty shootout. And right now we're seeing Mako trying to manage to get deeper, to do their attacks at the goal a little bit more from the bottom than from the top. And we have a scrum on the surface, which, as Wolf said, is always a sign of tiredness here.
And there are too many people involved in this cluster up there. It's like good for nothing because it tires you down, and you don't have an advantage if you have 6 people in the cluster on the surface.
And that was a referee call. It looks like a free throw for Helvetia, committed by some fault. What's that sign for?
Pulling, pushing.
Roughing, pushing. So they're executing right now the free throw, playing nicely in the corner of the close-take. Close-take always means that there are no change play, flying change of players
and
here.
End of the first half.
Yes. So let's pay a little bit attention to the persons on the chat. We have as well some persons cheering for Mako. So actually I think there are some Spanish players. Vamos Mecos, dicen, entonces teníamos un partido súper tenso. Allí dos goles de Helvetia so far, un penalti, pero Mecos están atacando también súper bien en olas, pero tienen que jugar un poco más en el fondo. Tenemos muchos jump balls en la superficie, y eso fue el primer partido. Y Colombo is asking that Helvetia is formed of different cities. Yes, this is because there are not so many clubs in Switzerland and less women playing, so that's why they also didn't attend to the World Championship this year, because it's really hard for them getting a team together, and it's the first time in a long time there have been 14 women. For example, last year they participated with 8 or 9 players, if I don't remember wrongly, but they really try to get the experience to play. Okay, we just showing off our t-shirts.
Yeah, we show our t-shirts. So another thought I had, Annika, imagine you've been 14 years old participating in the Champions Cup. Imagine the whole career of underwater rugby is still ahead of you. Imagine you're 20 and you say, yeah, 6 years ago I had my first participation in the Champions Cup. That's amazing. I would love to, but well, I started playing with 35, so...
what? Really?
Yes.
Okay. I started playing with 22.
Okay.
That's also quite late, and that's what everybody tells me.
But imagine...
it's awesome to start at such a young age.
Yes.
You're dedicated, you have a team sports, you're learning some team characteristics, and then really you can improve so much. You're just getting into the technique of swimming dolphins, to swim with fins, and it would be awesome to be right now 14, and then when you're 20 saying, hello, I played when I was 14 in Champions Cup.
I started my training, my youth team, they had the age of 12, and they are now 18 and 19, and it's amazing how their brains are wired to underwater rugby. You explain something to them, they just do it, and it's really, they are playing league now with my team, and it's I just love it, the way they grew up with underwater rugby and to think in 3 dimensions. It's totally different to players who started later, who have to work hard to get into this game, but for them starting with 12, it's another kind of beast. So 5 seconds left, and we're back in the game. It's the second half, in the last half of the day here, Champions Cup second day 2019. Marcos are in ball position, call from the referee, holding, or was it out of holding, yes, holding without ball, free throw against Helvetia. Marcos getting a position around the Helvetian basket.
Some strong defense here as well, experienced players. Mako is getting ready for the... Oh, we have a... There's one player out at Helvetia. We have a 2-minute penalty. We haven't seen it.
Oops.
It just appeared on
Totally
the
missed it.
So we have a strong attack from Mako here, almost getting in there, but the goalie got in on time, trying to score here. Helvetia is undermanned by, underwomaned by 1 player, so they're 5 in the water actually, and 1 on the substitution bench.
Sadly, we don't know what happened because we don't have a direct connection to the referees around the pool. But so far, Helvetia is doing a good job keeping the Mako players away from their dangerous zone under the basket. And Helvetia is defending heavily. They're back around their basket in numbers, but this is no defense now under the basket. We have 3 Mako players under the Helvetian basket. They're pushing hard into the defense under the goalie. Call from the referee. Guess it was holding. Call from the deck referee. Penalty.
Again,
Shoulder
another
in the
penalty.
basket probably.
It's a Mako penalty this time, so I think it will be interesting if it can turn the game and if it can turn some of the mentality of some Mako players. So let's see who defends and who shoots. We have here in the picture Urus, one of the referees from Colombia. Getting ready here as deck referee. We have forward clock.
Here we go. Starts. This. Okay, this is number 14.
That's Simi defending, and
the attacker is number 1. Oh, the goalkeeper ball is dropping down. What happened? She wasn't allowed to go that far away. She's down again. Well done. And she's not allowed to fight anymore. Nope. That's foul playing. She was too far away from her own goal. So goalkeeper is out. And that should be a repetition with another goalkeeper. The Marcos change their attacker too.
so Simi apparently is on the bench. We have an
And again, repetition of the penalty. And here we go.
Let's see, we have
Mako
number
player
81,
is
Isa.
number 8, Daniela Bedoya.
And for defending, we have number 81, that's Isa Morgenstern.
She relaxes now because she knows the attack is coming, and from above, trying to push directly overhead.
That was close.
Now under the basket,
She's
well done by the
really good in
goalkeeper.
going up and down the basket.
Nice, nicely defended.
So there are
Attacker is
15
going up again.
seconds left.
Now the attacker has to hurry up, coming from above over the head. That's a good chance, but I guess oh no! Wow, that was close, 5 seconds. Very well defended by the Helvetian player, but in the last second she was too far away from the basket.
that also could change the mentality of the game. So Mako's got a real
Yep.
opportunity here. They
To
saw they
catch up.
can score, and it could be trying out or
Tension
playing
is
out.
rising. Do you feel it?
Yes, totally. Last game, the last, the penultimo game was also really exciting, and now we have another exciting game.
I'm so excited.
Singing is not required as a commentator, but it's always nice to do so.
Looks like what?
The referee is talking to the Helvetian team, and there's a Mako player there as well outside. We haven't get the hint of what was happening when they're outside at the...
Was it a timeout without realizing, or was there a blackout of a player? Are they looking at a player there? I don't see it. No, it looks fine so far.
No, there's the medical attending somebody. Just the boyfriend of number 6 is here in the way to see it, but maybe it's a good thing to not show it. We had a discussion here. So we still have a medical timeout, so that's why we don't see here anything. Let's just wait. I think always penalties are tough for the defending as for the attacking. The defending has to stay down there. Defending, he has a 2-meter radius to defend. He doesn't. He isn't allowed to leave the 2-meter zone. And then we have the attacking person, and he's allowed or she's allowed to go up, breathe, and go down again, but it's also really challenging because if you see the diving meters, like if you dive down 3 meters 80 or 4 meter and have to dive 4 meters up again and are really intense, your pulse is high when you're doing a penalty.
Yep.
So
You say for the goalie or
for both.
for both, yeah. But I never actually, I wanted to talk about that too. I never ever saw a goalie succeeding in going up and going down again without catching the goal.
Yes.
Never.
No.
In my own career in the games and in the live streams, whenever the goalie went up to take a breath, there was a score because it's always easier for the goal carrier, for the ball carrier to go down in the last second and to be faster and throw the ball.
Yes. So Lorena got in just to help and for more support.
We don't really see what's happening. It looks like they have the player. It is the Mako player. Yeah.
I can't see who
Yeah,
plays
it looks like
a Mako player.
because the Makos are standing around and looking. It could be a short blackout because of the stress and the high blood pressure, high
Adrenaline.
performance, and you just like go up, and it's and since you didn't manage, it's just like it overwhelms you.
Yes.
So that happened many times. And sometimes if the player go up too fast, they just drop back in the water. Had that too in the tournament after a
Yes.
penalty. Didn't happen to me, but I saw it.
Okay.
So we got information from Lorena. No. But we hear the applause. So as Lorena told us, there was a blackout from the Mako player, from the attacker. And but she's good again. We have the applause from the whole teams. So we should continue with the game. And the last, how many minutes? I don't really remember. No, still no continuation for the game.
Some sign languages here to pass the water bottle, almost get there. Really nice. Team play here, sportsmanships from both teams trying to give water. It's always not forget to.
Tomorrow morning we start at 8 o'clock, and the first game will be an interesting one. Just to give you an overview for tomorrow, it's Malch against Molde at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Sunday, on the third day of the Champions Cup 2019. So it's one important game for the men's final already, because this will decide who will face the Colombians in the semi-final, or the final, I think. Is it the semi-final for the men? I'm so bad with schedules.
I'm overasked.
Overasked.
I'm overasked. Ich bin überfragt.
Can you be underasked?
Yes.
Interesting. So we're still waiting for the player to number 8. Yes, Daniela Bedoya, who was attacking in this penalty shooting. She's shaken, like Lorena said, a little bit. It's the adrenaline and the not scoring sometimes can be overwhelming, together with the exhaustion of the day. And these players are still in jet lag. You know, they still haven't recovered from the traveling from the US, from Australia, from Colombia. So the strain for the body is really high, and to be in an emotional, depleting situation like this could be really exhausting.
So there has been the separations of the team. We haven't asked the player or the guy in front of the camera to move, because we don't want to show scenes like this on live TV. It's much more respectful to just tell it but not show it. Because we weren't aware quite long time what was happening, and now Robert Klock, the deck referee, is.
Here we go, back again. 6 minutes left in the second half, so 6 minutes here on day 2 in the last game. And Helvetia was in ball possession but tackled on the surface. And we have a cluster for the start in the last 6 minutes.
So we have 30 seconds left, so we have Helvetia still underplayed. They're missing one player who's sitting at the bench for another 20 seconds. Almost 5.5 minutes to go here in this last game of the day. We are right now in the corner of the closed side of the Mako basket. We had a short medical timeout, and right now we're...
But nothing serious, the player is good again, all fine, don't worry.
Really sportsmanship of both teams, and now they're playing really good.
Oh, dangerous situation here in front of the Marco basket. The basket was empty and the ball was falling down, and almost the Swiss player recovered the ball and could swim in direction. She was only like 2.5 meters away from the Marco basket, but she didn't succeed. And tackle again on the surface. Less than 5 minutes left here in the second half. Marco's in blue from the US against Helvetia in white from Switzerland, and Helvetia is leading with a 2-1 goal difference in this game.
So the Mako player got to the Helvetian basket, trying to attack, set up an attack of waves of players. They're nicely positioned around the basket, stealing the position, trying to make a block. That's a really good chance, but they're right down there, too far up. Just a few centimeters, but it's too high to start an attack on the goalie.
Yep, agreed. Either you come really from above, like over the head, or you come from really down under the basket, but this half level, I saw the Colombians do it with the comp, when they just push the shoulder and squeeze in the ball. That's a technique they developed, but normally if you don't exercise that at least thousands of times, you cannot succeed. And like this, what we saw from Helvetia and the Marcos here, they will not succeed. So Helvetia in ball possession, coming from the close side, the corner into the Marco basket, trying to get in there from above and get a cluster to the surface. 3.5 minutes left.
So we're still at the cluster above the Mako basket. The white players really got into their games here at Champions Cup. They're helping each other much more, trying to place their knees under the scrum at the surface, which they did. The ball dropped. They could manage to swim and set up an attack, but were tackled away by some Mako players. right now. Again going down, and that's a good chance on pushing here. That's a good technique, but there was missing some physical power here. Now the goal is free, but we have ball possession of Makos here. Two white players on right there to steal the possession of the ball again.
What would be really exhausting for both teams now if Marcos equalize and we have to go into penalty shooting. As much as I would wish for the Marcos to have a chance here with equalizing and to win through penalties, on the other side it would be like devastating for both teams physiologically to sustain a penalty shooting at the end of the day here at Champions Cup day number 2.
So we have roughly 2 minutes left of the game, 52 people watching. So in white we have Helvetia and in blue Makos who are attacking the Helvetian basket here, trying to set up a wave of attack. But Helvetia is getting really into defending really well, and one of the Mako players just put the ball a little bit too far out here to relax. So the Helvetian team could relax a little bit at the defense. Now we're in the middle of the pool. I think there's a scrum at the surface which we can't see because of the cameras. Now we see it, and we move back to the right side to the Helvetian basket here. I think in the last 1.5 minutes, Makos after their penalty goal, they really want to get in there, do another goal and go to penalty shootouts, right?
Yep, that's what I think too. And Switzerland, time is working on their side, so if they keep the ball in a cluster or at least away from their own basket, it's their game. 1 minute left here, last game, and we have a cluster on the surface. Time is ticking, less than a minute. Defense of Marcos is going up. Dangerous situation.
I think they really want to buy time or maybe to kill time.
I would do the same. I would just hold on to the ball because it's less exhausting just keeping the ball than having to risk another goal and going into penalties. Half a minute left. Yep, yes, that's what we see. But now the Helvetian players try to push the cluster above the Marco basket. If the ball drops down in this situation, this can always be a dangerous situation for the basket.
20 minutes left. I think number 6, Andrea, is trying to hold on here, trying to free it to play a little bit longer. But
10
seconds left. I think it was just playing the scrum here at the surface. But we see really nicely, even if the game is over in 4 seconds.
Time stopped on our clock on the screen.
It's a free throw at time stopped at
4 seconds. I think this is done for Helvetia. They did win this game. Marcos fought hard,
yes,
but it was in favor of Switzerland. And as much as I saw a good game by the Marcos from the US, they were lacking a little bit of experience, young players. And it's always tough in these situations, combined with the end of the day and the jet lag from the US. That could have been very hard. So thank you very much everybody for watching the last game of the day. And we will see you here tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and we start with one of the important men games here in the last round. It's the TSV March, the German champion, at 8 o'clock against the Norwegian champion Molde. And this is going to be a decisive game. Who's going to face...
it will be a hot game.
Yeah, it will be a hot game and face maybe Finland or Colombia, I think.
Yeah. It's Hezu against Orcas tomorrow as well. So it will be also an interesting big game. We have seen good games from Hezu, but Orca hasn't had quite the challenge competition here.
So I recommend everybody already preparing a strong coffee for let's say 7:45 tomorrow morning, and then brew the coffee so you're ready in front of the screen, hearing us when you see the game March against Molde, which will gonna be a